Hi, I'm Scott Brosier with Versatile Gun Dog, and today we're out working some dogs. We're setting up a chain gang, and I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, so I have the chain gang stretched out here. I just have a couple more links to put onto the chain gang. It's basically a 6-dog unit, and roughly every 6 feet, there's a crimp, which allows us to keep the dogs separated. So I'm going to start by anchoring one end of the chain gang. So I've anchored the one end of the chain gang, and now I'm going to stretch it out till it's fairly taut. We like to use the shade since that's where the dogs are going to be resting. You want this fairly taut. And you also, when you hammer one of the lead stake in, you want to make sure it's somewhat of an angle. So as the dogs pull against it, it keeps it anchored into the soil. All right, now that we have our chain gang anchored, all we got to do is add some dogs. Wait. Good boy, Milo. All right. Heel. Heel. Good boy. So we want to make sure that our collars are nice and snug. They don't have to be like choke the dog out snug. You want it to be fairly tight to 3 fingers. So as I check this collar, that's nice and snug to my 3 fingers on his collar. 4 is almost too much to get in, but 3 is perfect. Good boy, Milo. Good. We'll go get another one. Heel. Evie. Heel. Good. Heel. Good. Hi, baby. There you go. All right, so now we've got all 3 dogs on the chain gang. And what this does is it helps the dogs settle down before they start working. You want a fairly calm dog, and the chain gang allows the dog to self-manage its energy level. So they remain calm before and after workout. The dogs have to be calm before they're allowed to work. And that's the reward, to manage their emotions, to manage their energy level. And once they're calm, then they get released to do some work. And the other 2 have to sit back and wait for their turn and also remain calm. This helps a great deal in a couple aspects. One, you don't have a noisy dog back at the truck when you're hunting. 2, when the dogs hit the edge of these cables, it teaches them to just relax. So for example, if they're in the woods and they get hung up on something, instead of fighting for their life and making things worse, they understand that pressure and they submit to it. So that when you find your dog, they're not all wrapped up. In fall, starting in October, we have trap-in season. So with that time of year, the dog could get caught in a trap. It's important for the dog to know to just submit to the pressure or the restriction and relax. That way things don't get any worse. And believe it or not, as the dog struggles, i.e. Rush right now, he's just learning how to adapt to the chain gang. Milo and Evie have both submitted to it. And by Rush bouncing around, he starts to understand that he's not getting anywhere with the bouncing on the chain gang. And he watches the dogs next to him be calm, so he's learning by example as well. That's the benefits of a chain gang.
Lighting was tough because they were in the shade and you